Hey y'all, I'm Deborah. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my June update for the project that is called Pan Me a Story, Watson. This project is sponsored by the Fantastic Ladies Collab. I'll have all of the information down in the description box. This project is based on prompts that are created from each of the Sherlock Holmes stories. This year is the 135th anniversary of the first story's release, so it's a great way to just kind of celebrate panning and books, which why not combine things I love? So last month I rolled in 7 products and I want to update you guys on that. So for the story A Study in Scarlet, one of the 4 novels, I had rolled in a lip liner in the shade Ruby. It's a NYX lip liner. I used it 6 times and then I have mislaid it. So if I do not find it in the next month, I will roll something else in for A Study in Scarlet. For Valley of Fear, I rolled in something that a lot of people have, and I rolled in the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. And my goal was 10 uses and no pan left behind. So you can now see it looks like it's got a little bit of use on it, and that actually finished on the 18th of June. So that one is done. All right, The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle. For that one, I rolled in a blue eyeliner. This is probably one of my favorite blue eyeliners. It is from Too Faced, and it is in the shade Killer Sapphire. I finished my 20 uses on that this morning, so yay me. All right, for The Adventure of Silver Blaze. Silver Blaze was a horse who was found, that was found wandering the moors, and it had been concealed so it wouldn't be able to run in a race. So for that one, I rolled in the LYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer. I really like this. I'm not sure that it's full coverage. Actually, I'm really sure that it's not full coverage. If you compare the coverage to the Shape Tape, this does not stand. But in the summer, when I'm doing lighter looks and more no makeup days, this is perfect. I brought this in for 50 uses, and I have used it 34 times because this video is a few days late. And so this one just needs 16 more uses, so I expect that one will be done by the next update. All right, for The Adventure of the Resident Patient, I rolled in something that costs more than it's worth. And to me, that was the Charlotte Tilbury Last Light Wander. And I started out right here last month, and I am down to here, and that took me 22 uses. So maybe another 2.5 months, I should be done with this one. I'll be glad to see that out of my collection. All right, so the next product is for the Red-Headed League. And while the prompt is something, a hair care product, because it's about this red-haired man, I absolutely encourage people to read the stories, and if something else speaks to you in that story, then by all means choose something else. The prompts are just suggestions. So for that, I brought in this lip gloss that is called Payday, because he was getting paid to just copy out pages. So I started out, this was fairly full, and it is down to right here. I expect probably another, I don't know, month and a half. We'll see. We'll see how long that one takes. But there is progress. All right, the last thing that I rolled in was something that was forgotten, and this is for The Adventure of the Crooked Man. And I had rolled in this Earth Therapeutics foot repair balm. And I've not worked on this as much as I should, mainly because it's 100 degrees in South Carolina, and who wants to sleep in socks? But I started out here, and I am down to here at this point. So some progress, but this one's going to be with us for quite a while. So I am going to roll in one story. How about that? I'm rolling in, I think that's the best way to describe this. So this story is called A Case of Identity, and it involves a young lady named Mary Sutherland who comes to Mr. Holmes' flat and asks him to find her fiance. He disappeared after taking her to the church for her wedding. She had sworn on the Bible to be faithful to him no matter what. And then he disappeared the day of the wedding. So she wanted Mr. Holmes to try to find him. Well, that didn't, as usual, that didn't take Mr. Holmes very long after listening to her story. Miss Sutherland was, her father had died, and her mother had remarried. And she had remarried a gentleman who was only about 5 years older than Miss Sutherland, so Mama was a cougar. And this this young lady, Miss Sutherland, had an annuity of her own that she got paid out every year. It was left to her from an uncle in Australia, and she was able to draw the interest on that every year. And this being Victorian England, her stepfather, who was now head of the house, actually controlled the money, which drives me crazy, but that's 135 years ago. So he had control of the money until she married, and then when she left the house, whoever, she would get control of it then. So as it turns out, Mr. Hosmer Angel, the fiance, had only seen her when the stepfather was out of town, when he had gone away on business. He never saw her in the daytime. He saw her in the evening. He was heavily bearded and only spoke very quietly, so you can kind of see where this is going. So it turned out that the fiance was actually the stepfather who had been in disguise to get this promise and pledge on the Bible out of his stepdaughter so that she would not pay attention to any other suitors and would never leave their home, and he would not lose her £100 a year. So since she had sworn on the Bible to be faithful to Mr. Hosmer Angel, even though he was really her creepy stepfather, I am bringing in a brand to which I am loyal, and I am doing it as a no product left behind. So all of my products in that brand I have to use at least once. So that brand is Urban Decay. I love their eyeliners, lip liners, lipsticks, their foundation. I only have one of their palettes, and I hear their palettes are kind of hit and miss, but I really love this palette. In fact, I used this palette for the first time this year today. So to start with, I'm going to bring in the palette. I have the Naked Cherry palette, and I think everybody knows what it looks like, but this is what it looks like. It is full of cherries and other shades. It's got this fairly neutral, paler section up here, and then the bolder section down here. I'm very happy and have been happy with how this palette works. I can get several looks out of it. There are some peachier shades, some browner, warmer browns, and then these beautiful kind of cherry pinks. And so I really love this palette. So my goal is no pan left behind for that one. All right, so eyeliners, I have 4 eyeliners. I have this kind of bronzy brown one, and I'm not going to swatch these because I would be covered with Urban Decay stuff. But this one, I have this bronzy brown one, sparkle one in Bourbon. I have a charcoal gray one called in the shade Smoke. I have this grungy green olive color in the shade Stash. Guess what that one's about. And then this purpley blue one in the shade Empire. And so all of those are going to get used at least once. For lip liners, I have 5. I have, and most of these are more, well, 3 of them are fairly nude, and then 2 of them are fairly bold. This one is Rush. It is in Another Project. And one of the uses, when I use this one for this project, it's not going to get counted in the other project. I thought that was a fair way to do it. Same with the shade Venom, which is a lovely kind of dark wine color. The shade Gash is a more brick kind of color. I like that one too. And then I have Stark Naked, which is a very kind of warm tan color. I don't know why I bought that one. And then this one is Naked 2, which is similar but a little lighter. So those are the 5 lip liners. Then I have 5 lipsticks, because when you buy a lip liner, when you buy a lipstick, you gotta have the lip liner, right? So this, I'm going to start with the pinkest tone. Okay, this is the shade Violate, and it's actually what I'm wearing today with the Rush lip liner and the Stila gloss on top of it. It turned out really nice. So this one is Violate. This one is Back Talk. It is a little bit warmer, but they're still nudes. Rush is a little warmer still. It's more of a brownie nude. And then Ravenswood is, I love this shade. It's a darker nude. So I have 4 nudes that are all different undertones. And then this one is called Love Drunk, and it is kind of that dark brick color. I love to wear this one. It usually gets worn with this brick color lip liner. So that is what I am rolling in this time. I've got 2 going out, but I'm only bringing 1 in. I'll bring 1 in each time, each update, even though I'm not, even if I don't roll anything out, there will always be a story. You guys know that I love the stories and I love telling the stories. But I want to keep the number, I want to get the number down to 5, but I will always tell you guys a story. All right, if you're doing this project, let me know down in the comments. If you're not doing this project and you want to, come on, the information is down below. And if you just want to hang around and listen to the stories, that's fine too. All right, guys, I'll see y'all later. Bye.